Rabbi Leor Sinai is here. He is the co-executive director of the Alexander Muss High School in Israel, powered by the Jewish National Fund. It's a premier teen Israel experience. Rabbi Leor Sinai, welcome to JM and the AM.
Thank you for having me.
A pleasure. Where are you from?
Originally Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, New York.
Are we family?
Brooklyn, everyone. If you're Brooklyn, everybody's
That's
family.
it.
Come on.
The second capital of the Jewish
Either
people.
that or the Lower East Side.
Right.
Guaranteed you're related to half the people out there.
Yeah.
So what is the Alexander Muss High School?
The Alexander Muss High School is a pluralistic international abroad program here based in Israel. We bring high school students from around the world.
It starts in 9th grade? Or?
No, it's actually, we prefer 11th, 12th graders,
11th,
but we'll
12th.
take 10th graders. Look, they're coming here for an extended amount of time, so there's a level of maturity we expect them to have.
It started in 9th, right?
It started in Miami 43 years ago, in 1972, with a Rabbi, Leva Shalom Morris Kipper, who said, we need to have an academic program in Israel, not just a summer camp in Israel. And he organized this at the time with the Jewish Federation in Miami, and they put that together. And since then, over 24,000 alumni. The program is spread out throughout North America. We get 150 students from Australia. I'm now working with the Jewish community in Istanbul, Turkey. And our goal is to grow from 1,000 students a year to 5,000 and become the premier international academic program in Israel.
This may sound like a crazy question, but because of the relatively high-quality Jewish education in the New York, New Jersey area, do you have less of a percentage of students in that area, or not necessarily?
I think it's more because of the competition.
Right.
There's just
a lot of schools.
A lot of schools. Parents, of course, they're kind of hesitant about sending their student during high school. If it's a junior year, then there's SATs, which we provide all of that.
Really?
And at the end of the day, our students who do come during this period of time and leave as alumni, they're our ticket. They vouch for our academic standards, for all the services we provide, and the college prep piece, right? You come to campus, colleges like to see that a high school student has had experience living abroad.
Could you imagine? You walk in and say you were 3 years in Israel.
Right.
I guess that would be pretty impressive. Rabbi Leor Sinai is with us. Where is the school located?
So we have two campuses. One is in Hod HaSharon, 10, 15 minutes north of Tel Aviv, depending on how fast you drive. And one not far from here is Eshel Hanassi. So we have these two beautiful, beautiful campuses. And it's not for more than a year, actually. We have semester programs, so it's an abroad program. They come for a semester. We work with their home high schools. We have 20 day school partnerships.
Are they cooperative, the day schools? Are they the high schools?
Oh, yeah. Well, the day schools, for sure, the private schools. And then we also work with the public high school system.
And they're all into the idea.
They're into, as long as we're an accredited institution. So all the general studies that any high school student takes by us is received and transferable to their home high schools. So we teach the same curriculum and textbooks that they have, whether they're from Oregon, Mississippi, Florida, and so on.
Are they necessarily doing it in Hebrew, or can they get a lot of help and have English courses
No, that's a great question. The courses are taught in English. We're known as an American high school in Israel. Right. But, for example, we had a day school from Vienna, and they requested that it be taught in Hebrew. So we teach in Hebrew.
Easy enough, I guess.
Exactly.
Right? It's Israel, after all.
So we're a service provider. So we need to be able to provide not only all the courses, not only the IPs and ABs and all the APs and the high level, but all the languages as well.
Do you take responsibility for youngsters during, vacation, weekends, etc.? How does that work?
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. These kids come to us for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We fill their
You're like an
schedule.
Av-bayit.
Gam vegam.
Yeah.
Gam ima vegam abba, and everything else that they need. And their teachers and their educators, they're 24 hours a day with us. We fill up their itinerary with part of their itinerary is a trip to Poland, because we teach the chronology of the Jewish people from Avraham Avinu to, I guess now it's Bibi again.
All the way from Avraham to Bibi.
That's right. And Poland is part of that chronology of our history and what happened in Poland, and the same thing goes with the whole country. Israel as the classroom.
Very interesting. So they get, I guess, a lot of field trips and a lot of experiential education. As
Just imagine taking primary sources to where things actually happened. There's no better teaching than that.
So you walk around with the Tanakh. And,
Gam v'gam. Like Ben Gurion.
Exactly. Rabbi Leor Sinai, co-executive director of the Alexander Muss High School in Israel. How do our listeners get information about this project, about this program?
Great question. So we are at amhsi.org. AMHS, like Sinai, I.org.
Okay.
And we are a program of the JNF.org, JNF USA. We have staff around the country, directors of admissions covering the entire country. So they are always ready and happy to answer phone calls, to come and visit, to organize prospective parents meetings. We have a whole marketing team and campaign in place. So we are set to support any questions and field any
There must be many alumni who say that this program changed their lives. There's got to be.
We say we skew the Pew. You know that whole Pew result thing?
Right, the Pew research.
So we skew it, okay? And I can tell you that for a fact because we did have a survey out there for our 24,000 alumni, and out of them, I can tell you that over 75 to 80% of them, for example, married someone within the faith.
Right.
77% of them are members at shuls. 65 or 70% sit on boards of Jewish
organizations. I wonder how many have moved to Israel.
We do have alumni, close to, I think, 200 that have made Aliyah, that have served in the IDF, that have made Israel their permanent home as a result of it. But that's not our main goal.
Understood, but
our
still,
main
it's
goal,
a byproduct, right?
We want to make sure there's a next generation that is prepared and carry the mantle of Jewish continuity and Israel connectivity around the world.
Right.
How
large is the program right now for this school year?
We have 971 students.
That's amazing.
I think that is, but we have a lot more to do.
You won't stop till you get to how many?
5,000.
Wow.
That's our goal.
Kol hakavod. Rabbi Leor, is it Sinai or Sinai?
Well, we're in Israel, so Sinai.
Tada Rabbi. Rabbi Leor Sinai, co-executive director, AMHSI. If you search online, you can get information about all this. If it's an 11th or 12th grader, then certainly they're
10th graders too.
And 10th also,
Sure.
but the 9th graders can wait a year. And then they can come visit. Tada Rabbi. Thank you so
Toda
much.
rabba lecha.
Amazing stuff we're learning this morning. And this high school, the Alexander Mice High School, is powered by the JNF, by the Jewish National Fund. Kol hakavod from all of us here at JM in the AM.